Morning, everybody. We are going to be practicing limb independence today, or at least I am. Think of this kind of like office hours. So I'm here to just practice publicly on stuff that I'm not good at yet. And if people have questions, then I will answer them in the various chats that I have up on the stream. Now, on my this playlist, it's got over 470 some odd different I can't speak. different practice sessions inside of here. And all of these have timestamps in the description that shows like what I was practicing or the thing that I was talking about. Now, because I've been drumming since 1998 and because I have a bachelor's, master's, and PhD in music education, people ask me questions like, hey, how do I get better at performing? Or how do I get better at teaching? And I will often edit those answers and put them into this drumming tips playlist. It's got over 16 hours of free drumming tips inside of here. There's over 100 videos and a wide variety of topics. So the first thing that I talk about is the title. Anything that I talk about after that will be in the part that says and other drumming tips. So for example, this one, number 76, starts talking about what are roughs, and then after that I talk about some other stuff. So if you don't need to learn anything about roughs or whatever the title is, there might be something that is of interest to you that is inside of there. Now if you see a video that does not say and other drumming tips, like this one that comes out next Friday, can you teach a drummer who is better than you? That means I spent 22 minutes and 41 seconds answering that specific question. So that one's a longer video. But, oh, by the way, all these members' first ones are scheduled to release for free. There's like 600-ish of them. So this one comes out Friday. This one comes out next Friday. But it might be like a year and a half from now because, you know, there's 600 of them. And there's like a new one every single day. All right, anyways, I'm rambling. We need to get motivated here. I'm not good at limb independence yet. So Shia LaBeouf is going to help motivate me to practice. So help me out, Shia, please. I'd like to be able to get better at this. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, wow, Shia LaBeouf. I'm super motivated. Sorry, had to block somebody. One of the reasons why I've accomplished more than you ever have or will in your life is because I spend my time trying to improve rather than sitting there trying to mock somebody. Anyways. No, so this is not like a cover stream. This is a practice stream. And if you have any questions, then I'm here to answer them. But I'm going to be using these thousands of free resources that are on my channel's home tab or at the link up here. So jaredoleary.com/drum. If you go there, there are over 2,000 free videos in here. There's 80 chop exercises. For example, if you do drumline like I do, I would highly recommend checking out the shopping spree playlist right here. There's like currently 29 shopping sprees in here. Some really cool rudimental stuff. There's over 1,000 grid variations in here. 419 for triplet, 577 for 16th note. And then there's some like 36 wacky ones like hurt to grid. Why, hello. If you scroll down more, this is where I'm practicing is the limb independence section. I'll come back to that in a second. There's almost 500 marching bass drum exercises. I'd highly recommend marking time to these timing ones at the bottom. And then you can try the wackier stuff like the splits timing. It helps you to simulate being on a bass line. There's a bunch of drumline cadences inside of here in score format. There's over 200 sight reading exercises. There's over 400 technique exercises. Like if you want to work on your endurance and speed, go to this playlist. If you want to work on your stick control, go to this playlist. And then down here, there's over 16 hours of free drumming tips and some scripted lessons like how to hold traditional grip, etc. So in these practice streams, I'm here practicing, and people often ask me questions because I've been drumming for almost 30 years, and because I have a PhD in music education, I'll help people with how to get better as a performer or how to get better as an educator, and I will often edit those answers and put them into this drumming tips playlist that has over 16 hours of me responding to questions. Like I said, this is not a cover stream, so if you don't understand that, like, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't do covers. That's not what this is. This is me practicing limb independent stuff. The thing that I'm going to start off with practicing is a doozy. So this first one that I'm warming up with, I'm not good at yet. It is a wacky pattern. It is a 3/4 pattern. I'm going to try it at 115 today. And here's what it looks like. So normally, if you're playing this rhythm, a soca rhythm, this is in 4/4, 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN. So you might play something like that. But what I'm going to do instead of playing a 1 EN, 2 EN, da-da-da, is I'm going to play it as triplets. Triplet, 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 da-da-da, 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 but-da-zzz. So I'm doing 3 of those in the space of 4 quarter notes. So it's going to be this feel in the hi-hat, which is a straight pattern, while I read through a swung part, 8th notes on the snare. Anything longer than the 8th notes is going to be on the bass drum. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is by using the limb independence content that is, again, on my home tab or on my website. Just go to the limb independence section, click on the header, and it expands it. Because I'm going to be reading some swung charts, I'm going to go inside of here at 115. So we're going to click on this. And it shows you 55 drum charts that you can practice some limb independent stuff. The thing that I'm about to play is ridiculously hard, so please do not try it if you are newer to limb independence. But if you want to learn how to do limb independence, check out this video. It's in every single one of the playlists for the limb independence section. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and pick like a random chart. Sure, 11 through 15 sounds great. Inside of all these thousands of free play-alongs, you can jump to a BPM. I'm going to play this at 115. So I'm going to say I want to do this at 115. And let me turn up the volume so I can hear this better. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and... So you can't hear the play-along, but there is a play-along going on. There's a sync delay, so it's muted on your end. But 1, 2, 3, 4 is the quarter note. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Woo! 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'll get 1, 2, 3. So it's a 3/4 with this ostinato going on in the hi-hat. And we're playing a swung pattern in these charts. 1, 2, here we go. Oops, right there, wrong. This is the quarter note, while you're playing this 3/4 in the hi-hat. 1, 2, 1, 2, here we go. Oops. Read it wrong. Yeah, so most of the airs so far have just been like reading airs. I gotta get that refund on Hooked on Phonics. Need to add that to my to-do list. But the playing the limb independence part, technicality is like comfortable. 1, 2, here we go. Thank you for the like, by the way. Sweet, last chart. So this is the warm-up. Then we're going to stretch massage. And then I'm going to review some patterns that I've already graduated from. This is one that I'm still working through. 1, 2, ready, and... Thank you for the like. I hit my stick. I hit my stick. Okay, we're going to stretch and massage now. So, first stretch I'm going to do stretches the sides of the forearms. Actually, we'll go to this camera angle. So this is a great one that stretches along the sides. Highly recommend it. This is not a cover stream. This is like a office hours. So I'm here practicing, and if you got questions about how to get better at drumming or how to get better at teaching, then I can help with that. Because I've been drumming for almost 30 years, and because I've taught every grade, kindergarten through doctoral student, I answer a range of questions and have edited a lot of those responses and put them in the drumming tips playlist that's on my home tab, and there's over 16 hours of me responding to those questions inside of the home tab of YouTube. I'm stretching the underside of the forearm now, so we're stretching along here. You don't need to pull hard. Why, good morning on the vertical. If you want better camera angles for these different stretches, as well as some stretches I'm not going to demonstrate today, there's a video that is in the Drumming Lessons playlist on my home tab that shows you all the stretches and massages that I'm about to do and that I do every one of these practice streams. Next, I'm going to stretch the top side of the forearm, so you could stretch it like this, or if you do it right here, you can do it. I haven't actually worked on the shuffle. Been working on limb independent stuff, but maybe that's something that I could add to the list. But surprisingly, Dom doesn't actually have in his book. The book that I'm about to review here is this one. It's called 50 Ways of Syncopation, and it doesn't have a shuffle in it. Add that to the to-do list. So stretching it on your legs like this makes it so that it goes twice as fast. But now I'm going to stretch fingers, thumb to thumb. How necessary is stretching? Very. I almost had to stop drumming because hands were getting too tight and getting some early signs of carpal tunnel. I popped a vein in my wrist right here. Let's see. I had an inflated elbow, bursitis, all sorts of like hand issues, arm issues, etc. And then a lot of that stuff actually happened when I was during my undergrad, which was in music education, but I was on a full ride in percussion performance, and I had to stop drumming for an entire month because of like that elbow injury. Literally couldn't play for a month, and when you're on scholarship, that's kind of scary because like hey, I could lose my entire education because of an injury. And, the career I was trying to go for. So went and met with a hand specialist, and like a doctor of hand, basically, and developed this stretch and massage routine in collaboration with that person and then some other percussionists, and then worked on relaxing my technique and whatnot. And now I don't have those hand issues. So was in 2004 or 5 when that happened. So like 20 years ago. And now I don't have hand issues. So that's why I think it's necessary. If you want to be drumming when you're 40 like myself, or longer, take care of yourself. It'll help you keep you relaxed. Next, what I'm going to do is massage the back side of the hand with the fingers, and the thumb is massaging the palm. But I'll show you here in a second the video that is like, gives you better camera angles for all these, and gives you some bonus stretches if you do rotary motions like traditional or Stevens grip. Have some stretches for that. And if you do drumline like I did, then there's a stretch that I show at the very end of the video that's good for if you wear a carrier. And finally, base the tip of each one of the fingers we're massaging. It's a quick stretch and massage routine, just takes like a few minutes to go through. This one, do at least twice for each one of your fingers. Might need to do it longer if your finger is tight, but you're just kind of wiggling your way down. Doing a check-in for each one of your fingers. Trying to stay relaxed. Okay, so the video that I was talking about, if you go to my home tab here, there's over 2,000 free drumming videos. You just have to click on the header for each one of them. So for example, if you're a drumline person like myself, then click on the chop section, and I'd check out the Shopping Spree playlist. It's got some cool stuff. But if you scroll down more, there's over 1,000 grid variations inside of here. This is where I'm practicing. There's marching bass drum stuff. There's drumline cadences in score format. There's a bunch of sight reading exercises, over 400 technique exercises. So if you want to like work on endurance and speed, go to the endurance and speed exercises playlist. There's 65 videos in there. There's more stuff like to be able to work on your stick control or your 3 and 4 strokes or your timing, whatever. Literally thousands of videos in here. But this section, the tips and lessons, this is the one that I was talking about where this drumming lessons playlist, it has this video all the way down here that has the stretch and massage routine right there. And that stretch and massage routine is like, it's better camera angles and whatnot. So it's got the front camera as well as the top camera simultaneously. And it's got some extra stretches that I did not do, but you can check that out. Hai, Saitama to iimasu. Hajimemashite. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. But again, you just have to click on the like different sections, and then it like expands to show you all of them there. So check that out. Literally thousands. Oh, if you see any of the members first videos, the ones that are marked as that means they're coming out for free. It's just early access. So like if you go to any one of the videos and click the join button, it shows you that you can get those 600-ish videos for 99 cents, which is the cheapest I can make it on YouTube. But that is what I would recommend. This is not a cover stream. This is me practicing. And when people have questions, because I've been drumming for so long, and because I have a bachelor's, master's, PhD in music education, people ask me questions like, hey, how do I get better as a performer? Hey, how do I get better as an educator? And then I will edit those and put them into this playlist that has over 16 hours of me responding to different questions and whatnot. I'm happy to ban you if you continue to mock my appearance. I've already done that today. We can do it again. We're going into the limb independence section. So I just played through that pattern, which is up on the screen right here. And it's made some progress on here. So 115 felt a little weird in terms of like reading through it, but overall it was like mostly technically proficient. However, in this spreadsheet, column A is keeping track of like, hey, how's it going on average while doing this? And still overall it needs a lot of work, which is why I'm going to keep revisiting this every single stream until on average it's at least technically proficient or musical when going through this. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to review patterns that I've already graduated from. So if we go to here, we go into the properties. I'm going to paste it here so you can actually see what I'm doing. So we're playing the Samba pattern. And so the samba pattern that I'm going to review here, samba feet is just boom, this is like a slow samba, like more like a bossa nova feel. So I'm going to read through the charts on the right hand. So the right hand is going to play anything longer than an eighth note, I'm going to put on the bell with the side of the stick. And the left hand is going to fill in eighth notes whenever I'm not playing on the right hand. So if I'm playing like quarter notes, if I'm playing something longer than quarter notes, while playing. Okay, so that's the pattern that we're going to be going through. Now, the last time when I played through this, 12.1, we played it at 155. Sure, let's try it. Boop. Okay, so in the limb independent section, we're going to the straight charts, and we're going to do it at 155. So we're going to go straight drum charts from 100 to 159, and we click in here. And I just did, 11 through 15, so now I'm going to do 16 through 20. And in all these thousands of like play-alongs and all the like drumming tips, there's timestamps in the description to show like what I was talking about, or to be able to jump to a specific BPM. So I want to play this at 155. So I'm going to go down to here, and it goes one click at a time. I'm thorough. So inside of here, we're going to read through this. Okay, so it's going to count off in my head here in a moment. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and boom. So this is the ostinato. And ostinato is a pattern that continues to repeat over and over. This is the part that we're just going to put on like a metronome, like on autopilot. And we're going to read through it on the charts, filling in ghost notes on the hand. A 1, 2, ready, here we go. Three, 6 at the same time? Oh no, that's easy. What you want is 4, 6 at the same time. Like this. You can even just do this on one hand. So 4 mallets is something that you frequently do in like concert percussion stuff. So that's like been done forever. Some concert percussionists on a marimba will even play with 6 mallets simultaneously. By the way, on this like top line, you can improvise here, or you can just play the ostinato, whatever you want to do. I can't speak this morning, apparently. Thank you for the like on YouTube. Sweet, we did it. Yay. All right, so that was at 155, and it was musical. So in addition to playing the notes that were on the page, which would make it like technically proficient, I was adding in some extra timbre, some extra textures to try and make it more musically interesting. Why does it have 0 there? Okay, 0. Cool, thanks. All right, so we did it 155, and it was musical. And I had fun with it. Yay! Cool. So we'll mark this off as, hey, we reviewed this one. Now let's go to another one that I have not played in a long time. What's this one? Let me paste it so you can see it on the screen. Properties. Paste. Go. Okay, so now let me make it so I can actually see it. There. Okay, so Samba feet. Okay. Right hand plays the floor tom on 1 and 3. Okay. This one's a weird one. Okay, so my floor tom is a table, so I'm not gonna play it on the floor tom. I'm gonna play it on here. Now I'm using like the silent stroke heads by Remo with the low volume cymbals by Zildjian. So these make it so that you can practice without annoying everybody in a like 10-mile radius around you. But with the drum triggers that I'm using, it doesn't pick up the little nuances in there. So, for example, it doesn't pick up, like, all the buzz sounds. It doesn't pick up low notes. Like, if I play really fast, it sometimes doesn't pick those up. But if I can do it on cymbals, then you can hear it all. So, they're not great. All this to say, I'm doing a press stroke on 1, and then an open accent on 3. So, press, hit, and you do it on here, on the floor tom. So all you're gonna hear is just like the same sound the entire time while doing this one. So you're not gonna hear, press, and a hit, and a press, and a hit, okay? While doing this. This is not a cover stream. This is me answering questions if people have questions. Otherwise, I'm here to practice. All right, I'm gonna try this at 150. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you're reading the charts on the left hand. That's where the independence comes from. Okay, so we did it last time at 145. I think I can do it at 150. It's an interesting pattern, but we're going to go back to the home tab here. And we're going to scroll down past the chop stuff, past the grid stuff, and then click on the header for each one of these content areas, like the limb independence section. Now, I just played through charts 16 through 20, so I'm just going to go to the next one so I can just keep practice sight reading while doing this. Don't just keep playing the same set of 5 every single time. There's a reason why there's 55 charts inside of here. It's so you can practice sight reading. So that way, you actually work on limb independence as opposed to just memorizing some different parts. Now I'm doing this at 150, so I'm going to select that BPM inside of the description. And then it's going to count off inside of my brain. So, again, press, hit, press, while doing that. 1, 2, ready, and... press, hit, press, hit, press, hit, press, hit. 1, 2, here we go. Press, hit, press, hit, press, hit. 1, here we go. Again, you'd play this on the floor, Tom. It sounds way better on something that's not like this hybrid setup with these drum triggers. But the press makes kind of like a dipping sound, a pitch bend. There's another variation of this that actually does it on the hi-hat. Like this, but we'll get to that. 2, ready, and... Alright, last chart. Press, stroke. Press, then a normal hit. Press, hit. Press, hit. A 1, 2, here we go. Sweet! We did it! Okay, so this pattern number 13. It was mostly technically proficient, even with playing it 5 clicks faster. Yay! And I had fun with it. Okay, so this pattern, we're going to mark it off as reviewed, and then we'll go into the next one. What's the next one? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, this one is interesting. It's a mixed meter. It's polymetric. So we're going to do 3/4 over 4/4. And by the way, this is all from Dom Moyo's book. So like this is number 14 in Dom's book. The one that I just played was number 13 in Dom's book, but it's called 50 Ways of Syncopation. And so this is where I'm getting like the majority of these like ideas of how to work on 4-way and sometimes 3-way limb independence. But this particular pattern, so you're gonna go, this is a jazz pattern, so a swung pattern. Ding, 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 ding. So normally you'd be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning. But what we're gonna do instead is our hands are gonna stay in 4/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. While the feet are gonna be in 3/4. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The entire time while reading through the pattern in 4/4. So it is polymetric in that my feet are in 3/4 and my hands are going to be in 4/4. Not as complicated as the first pattern that we played where it was a 3/4 swung over straight, but still complicated in its own right. Now the last time we did this particular pattern, we played it. I like this one. You can tell I've played it a lot. 185. Woo! Okie dokie. Hello in Brazil. I'm going back to my home tab. Again, this is where you can find thousands of free exercises and free drumming tips and resources. I'd highly recommend taking a look at all the Q&A that I've done in all of these live streams. There's over 16 hours of me responding to some really cool questions from people. But I'm going into the limb independent section. For any of these sections, just click on the header. And I'm playing a swung chart. And because I'm playing it fast, I'm going to go into the swung charts from 160 to 240. If you can play this faster than me, cool, I got you covered. We just did 21 through 25, so let's go ahead and do the next set of charts, 26 through 30. But there's 55 in here to keep you busy for a while. And we're going to do this, what was it, 185? Yes. So in the timestamps, I'm going to say, hey, YouTube, play this at 185. And then it'll count off, and I'll hear a play along with the different rhythms and stuff in my headphones, but you don't hear that on your end because it's muted. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. While reading in 4/4. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, boom, chick, chick, boom, chick, chick. A 2, a 1, 2, here we go. Two, three, 1, 2, 3. I don't know why my left shin is getting tired. That's weird. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and ew. Had to do some quick surgery. Trust me, I'm a doctor. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and oh no! No! I didn't tighten it enough. The trigger came too loose. Why, hello, Joe. Alright, last chart. Again, 2, 8, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2. Here we go. If you knew Susie like I knew Susie, then you would like her too, like her too, like her too. If you knew Susie like I knew Susie, then you would like her too, like her too. Yeah, so the drum trigger, it was missing out on some of the notes, so I tried to do some quick surgery midway through by loosening it up and then tightening back on, but I didn't tighten it enough and it came off, which is why I had to stop. Wah, wah. Are you gonna work now? Sort of. Okay. That's better. Alright, we hit drum. Yay. It's mostly technically proficient. The issues that I had were just reading issues. Hooked on Phonics did not work for me. But I had fun playing with it. And my left shin, oddly enough, got like tight while doing that. Unexpected plot twist. Apparently I need to stretch that out. What's the next one we're gonna take a look at that I haven't played in a long time? What's this one? Pattern 15. Pattern 15. Again, the numbers come from Dom's book. 50 Ways of Syncopation. This is number 15 out of 50. Okay, so what is this one? Okay, so ride cymbal, hi-hat. Oh no, my left leg is gonna get tired. Okay, so double time swung. Play the line of short notes in the snare and long on the bass drum in halftime. It says on average it was okay. Let me try it at 115. My left leg is already tired. So I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. So short notes are gonna be that on the snare, and anything longer than that would be on the bass drum. Okay. Go back to the home tab, and we're doing a straight pattern. Even though it says double time swung, it's a straight one, so we'll go to the straight charts. So we're scrolling down to the limb independent section. And every one of these playlists links to like how to develop limb independence. So it's the second video in here. So just follow the steps in there. It might take you like a couple weeks just to get one pattern down, but the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. Like the pattern that I warmed up with, that 3/4 straight over swung pattern, it's taken me about 2 months to be able to just like read those charts. So it might take you a while, but I promise if you follow those steps, it'll help out. Trust me, I'm a doctor. Okay, we just did 26 through 30, so let's just go ahead and do the next set of charts. I have a feeling that my left leg is just going to be like, nope, I'm done. So we're doing another set, what was it, 115? 115. Yay. Click. I don't know what your question is. Here we go. 2, 1, 2, ready, and... So this is the double time swung. 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and... Eighth notes on snare. Anything longer than that on the bass drum. 2, here we go. Never touched my drum set? That's funny. A lot of band directors would have those kind of rules. When I was a band director, I was like, I'm playing the drum kit. Yeah, this is actually my wife's kit, so... Mine's over there. She lets me play it. Good morning! On the YouTube horizontal. I'm great. How are you? Other than the numerous trolls I've already had in the chat and banned, I'm good. It's just, you know, planetary alignment or something. 2, 1, 2, here we go. Doing okay? Better than bad. This is not a cover stream. This is a practice stream. So if people have questions about how to get better as a performer or as an educator, I answer questions. So if you go to the home tab, there's literally thousands of like play-alongs like this one that I'm playing to, and over 16 hours of me answering questions live on streams that I've edited down into the salient points. Whether you want to get better as a performer or as an educator, got a lot of experience in both. Said that wrong. But I don't want to get copyright strike, so I don't do covers. Think of it like office hours. I'm here to practice, and if people have questions, I'll answer. Sweet, last chart. So far, my left leg actually feels great, which is interesting. Could have played this one faster. Oh, this one's weird. 2, then 5/8 at the beginning. Ready? And... Sweet! Yay! We did it! Alright, that felt between musical and technically proficient, but mostly technically proficient. We'll go on through that, and I had fun with it. Cool. We've reviewed yet another one. Dun dun dun. Now, in these practice streams, I focus on the stuff that I'm not good at yet. So, when if you go back a year ago and look at the streams, the column A is keeping track of, how I'm doing on average. And you'll notice in a lot of these... when it started, this one needs a lot of work and meh, it was not very good at all. Needs a lot of work. It took a long time of practicing to get it mostly technically proficient. So because this is keeping track of the average, that's how long it took of just repping through these different charts until on average it sounded okay. So this one's kind of scaring me with how it's gonna go. But each one of the streams, I would start off with the ones that I'm not good at, and then maybe at the end I would review a pattern that I've already graduated from, that was already at least technically proficient or musical. But because I've gone through all of these, and there's only this last one right here that I haven't graduated from yet, I'm spending more time reviewing this. But in general, practice the stuff that you're not good at yet more than the stuff that you're already good at. I had too many students who are the opposite of that. So don't do that. You'll get better this way. Okay, what is this pattern? Swung, 16th, hi-hat on 2 and 4. Okay, so the 8th note is going to be... Oh, this one's going to be hard. No wonder it took me forever working on this one. I haven't played this one in months. Oh, no. Wish me luck. How fast? 155? Okay. Okay. I might have myself on this one. There's so much space in it. Let's scroll down. So we're going to the limit independent stuff. This is a straight pattern. We just did 31 through 35, so I'll just go to the next set of charts. And it was, what was it, 115? No, 155. That's a little different. Okay, so 36 through 40. Boop. That's the next set of charts. 155. Go to the timestamps. Tell it how fast. 7 fast. I actually have, for April Fool's, play along for Susie coming out at 1 BPM. It takes like 30 minutes or something to go through. Why did it get quieter? There we go. Okay, let me back this up. Apparently it changed the volume. Oh man, there's so much space. Read that wrong. Yeah, so I read a wrong rhythm, and then I read a long as a short on that. Okay, this one, woo, is requiring a lot of my brain. I will not be responding to chat while I'm reading through this. Here we go. Dang. This is like taking so much more cognitive capacity to play through it because this ostinato is so open. 1, 2, ready, and... A 1, 3, a 1, dum, da, dum. The hi-hat on 3 is weird. 1, 2, it feels so slow. Cool. Yikes. Last one. Oh, this is interesting. So put the bass drum on 4. A 2 throughout. Most of that was reading issues. I'm going to mark this one as a... I want to review this one again tomorrow. So instead of putting it as like green passed, I'm going to put it as like a yellow to like, hey, Jared, play this one again. It was mostly technically proficient from a mechanical standpoint, but it was requiring a ton of my brain power while working on this. I'm going to say I was making progress on it. So we'll review that some more next time on the next stream. What's this next one? Kind of curious. What pattern number 17 is? Scroll way down here. Oh, yikes. Okay. Okay, this one's gonna be slow. So the pattern... Oh, this was gonna be hard. Again, these are all from Dom Moyle's book, 50 Ways to Syncopation. So this is number 17 in Dom's book, out of the 50 ways to like work on limb independence while like reading through charts. So you're doing ding, 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 and you're reading the line on the snare drum. Cool. That's standard. But you're filling in triplets on the bass drum. So ding, 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 ding. If you're playing quarter notes, and this is your part, you're gonna go like that with the bass drum. So we're gonna slow this one down. Last time I did it at 75. Whew. We'll do it at 75.348. All right, so let's go back to the home tab. This is a swung pattern, so I need to go to the swung charts. We're gonna scroll down past this stuff. Again, click on any of these headers and it'll expand. Like if you want this 16 plus hours of me responding to Q&A on these streams, that's where you go for that. But inside of here, in the limb independence section, I'm doing a swung chart. So I'm gonna go from swung 60 to 99. And we just did 36 through 40, so I'll just do the next set. And I'm going to play it at 75. That feels so slow. Click timestamps in the description. On all the thousands of free drumming videos, I've got timestamps that either show the topic that I was discussing, like the question I was answering, or the specific BPM going up one click at a time. Ding, ding, ding. That's what our foot's gonna do. Filling in notes. Woo! Woo! No wonder we're playing it slow. 1, 2, here we go. Let's actually try it faster. This feels too slow. I think I've improved since the last time I played it. I don't know if 90 is going to be too fast, but let's just try it. Ding, 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 ding. Just kidding. That's 90, right? Ding, 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 ding. Alright, here we go. Wish me luck. Oops. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and... I dropped my stick. I totally missed the cymbal. Yeah, so my stick just like totally missed it. That's funny. Alright, again. Chart number 42. Reading the notes that you see, the rhythms that you see on the snare drum while ding ding ding, hi-hat and tune 4. Bass drum fills in with triplets on anything you're not playing on the snare. I almost missed the cymbal again. That's funny. It's right there, Jared. Oh, thanks. I'm like so focused on like what my right foot is doing with the bass drum that I just like almost dropped my stick again because I play with like a super relaxed technique. If I miss it, it's just going flying. A one, a two. Oh, this also has a lot of space. Okay, here we go. Read that wrong. This is not a cover stream, but thank you for asking. This is me practicing. Think of it like office hours. I'm here to practice limb independence, and people often ask me questions like, hey, how do I get better as a performer? How do I get better as an educator? And then I answer those, and then I edit those responses and put them into the 16 hours of drumming tips on the home tab, but there's also, literally thousands of play-alongs, like this one. Good drums? Thank you. These are my wife's kit. Hers is prettier than mine, this nice like red color. Mine is over there. It's a black kit. Pearl export, but this D drum looks prettier. So we put that one on the string. Two, one, two, last chart. Thank you for some fun. You're welcome. Thank you, Dom, for some fun. Dom is the one who wrote the book that these patterns are out of. But that one was mostly technically proficient while going through it. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. That went way better than I thought, playing it at 90, which is way faster than what I've taken it before, so yay. Let's mark this one as green, that we have reviewed that one. Now again, this spreadsheet, this basically practice journal that I've created for myself, column A is keeping track of, like, on average, how does it sound across all the different times that I played this. And all these practice streams, where I just answer some Q&A while I practice, it keeps track of, like, how I've done all of these. But I sit here and I work on the ones that I'm not good at yet. Now, I've gone through all of Dom's book, through every single one of the patterns in here. There's 50 of them to do limb independence. So it's called 50 Ways to Syncopation, hence the name, by Dom Moyo. And when I was practicing through these, I would just keep sitting through this one until it sounded technically proficient, which is playing the ink on the page, or musical, which is like adding in extra timbres and textures that are not on the page. The only one that I have left that's actually not in Dom's book is the one that I warmed up with. But normally in these streams, I'm not reviewing for the majority of them. I'm just sitting there and grinding out the stuff that I'm not good at. But because this one's at a point where it's feeling fairly comfortable, I can go back and review all these other ones, because in probably a couple weeks here, I'm going to do a stream where I go through every single one of these different patterns from start to finish. So with all the variations, I think there's like 60 some odd of them, because there's a lot of like 39.1, 20.1, etc. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to have some fun playing with some play-alongs or learning about the drums, go to my home tab. On my home tab, there are over 2,000 free drumming videos inside of here. You have to click on the header for each one of the subject areas, or the content areas rather. So if you want to work on drumline chops, you can go here. If you want to work on grid variations to work on rudiments, click, and it shows you over 1,000 grid variations inside of here. Just focus on rudiment on one. Pro tip. This is where I was practicing. Every single one of these limb independence playlists has the second video inside of it, which shows you how to develop limb independence on the drum kit. It's got some steps to follow with some resources inside of here. So the first step, then in the second step, you're using these permutations that you'll find in the limb independence section. It's got the charts that I was just using, etc. So this shows you what I've actually been doing when I've been practicing on all these practice streams, and how I've been able to improve all of those things that you have seen in this spreadsheet. Some of them were terrible. Like the one that I started off with today, 2 months ago, I literally couldn't even play like the ostinato, because it was a 3/4 straight over swung, which was just like melting my brain. But by going through the steps that are inside of that video, now I can actually play through it. So I highly recommend it. Trust me, I'm a doctor. In the marching bass drum stuff, there's a lot of like cool stuff to be able to practice marching bass drum without the rest of your section there. By muting and unmuting stuff. You'll see if you go through the splits timing stuff. But what I really recommend is going to these like timing exercises, like the 8th note, the triplet, the 16th note, or the timing transitions, and mark time to those while you play through them. Highly recommend that. There's a bunch of drumline cadences and score format if you want that. There's some sight reading exercises, over 200 of those. There's over 400 technique exercises, so if you want to work on your endurance and speed, go to the endurance and speed playlist. If you want to work on your flams, go to the flam playlist. If you want to work on stick control, go to the stick control playlist. Just look for the titles and then pick some stuff in there. There's a ton of content. Like the 16th note diddle playlist has, 38 videos inside of it. That'll keep you busy for a while. And if that doesn't keep you busy for a while, this tips and lessons section, this playlist alone has over 16 hours of me answering questions live on stream. There's a dozen drumming lessons inside of here, and then here's all of the Q&A live streams that I've done with timestamps showing what I was practicing or what I was talking about, so you can actually see all the mistakes that I make when I'm practicing. But again, this one has over 100 videos and over 16 hours of tips inside of here, like why I let my index finger hang over the stick, or when people was asking, what is touch? What does that mean when it comes to drumming? Or what are the 3 different types of flam taps, and how can you work on them with one exercise? So like there's a ton of topics inside of here if that interests you. If you see any of these members first videos, there's about 600 of them. They're all scheduled to release for free. So I don't sell a book, I don't sell an app, I don't sell a course, I don't teach privately anymore. All my stuff is coming out for free. This is just early access. So some of the content, like the sight reading stuff, that one comes out in November of next year. So it might be a while until it comes out. So if you want the early access, You can get that with the join button. It's 99 cents. That's the cheapest I could make it, and it gives you about 600 videos early access to it. But again, they're all coming out for free, and there's literally thousands of videos in here to keep you busy for a while. So if you're like, I really want this thing, cool, you can get it for as cheap as I can make it on YouTube, or just wait. You'll have plenty of stuff to keep you company. I'm going to call it here. I'm going to do a gaming stream here, probably in about 15 or 20 minutes or something like that. And the game is called, what, the Cabin Factory or something? I haven't played it yet, but it looked spooky and it looked fun. So we're going to try that, but apparently it's a short game. But anyways, I'm rambling. If you enjoy these thousands of free resources, just share it with somebody else. And if you do not enjoy these thousands of free resources, then share it with an enemy.